So we're back. Hi, everybody. Hello, ladies, and some guys too. Hello, we're back. Welcome to this week's Power of Women podcast. I am Taysa the Starseed, and of course, I'm joined by my phenomenal host,
Tori Jae.
Tori Jae. So, in today's episode, I want to ask a question. It's funny because I asked Tori this question too, and it just spurred a debate. So we thought, you know what, let's bring this to the podcast. um, we talk about relationships a lot, and again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. People are like, shut up, Tesla, we don't care. But I'm always like such an advocate for self. And again, I'm not against relationships. I'm just saying relationships should be beneficial to us, right? So I had been thinking, and this is all a new thought process. I don't know if I told you guys last season, I am a Capricorn. So one of our traits is supposedly loyalty, but I mean, it's debatable, especially when it comes to the men. But
it applies to the men.
I don't think it applies to the men. But so, I'm always the one who would only put all my eggs in one basket, focus on one man. I'm so loyal, blah, blah, blah. And I would give him so much control over me, and everything that I did, because I felt like that's what is love, right? That's what constituted love. But obviously now I think completely differently. And so I was thinking, what are the benefits of being in a relationship that you can't have not being in a relationship, right? And when I say this, I mean, as a man and woman coming together, right? You might want to date, have sex, all the regular things that. Tell me what the purpose is of actually making it a relationship, because obviously I was thinking about my experience as a woman and most women, and this is a figure that I have pulled out of thin air, and I'm sure if I check the statistics it's probably there, but just out of my experiences and most women that I've spoken to, I think it would be close to 99.9% Jazz of women who have been scarred at one point in their lives by a relationship, like really scarred, not even just like really badly hurt, right? And it just becomes the norm for us to kind of accept that that's what relationships do. So I'm like, what is the benefit of a relationship? And when I'm asking this, I mean something that you cannot get without being in a relationship. So if you're saying, well, sex, I mean, that's a given. You don't need to be in a relationship to have sex with somebody.
Right.
If you're saying going on dates or having somebody to travel with and do all of these different things with, why do you need to call it a relationship to meet with someone else and experience people? And that's what I keep saying. When I meet people now, I want to experience people. I want to experience who you are and enjoy that without any kind of pressure on it to be something else. So with that in mind, what is the benefits of relationship? I think people say protection, right? Or I think if I heard protection, I think I've heard protection before, which again, it's like
financial. A lot of them are financial, bringing two incomes together, or like tax cuts or tax incentives,
exactly.
or
See, now those are
purchasing
different.
property. What?
That's a business merger now.
Yeah. That
and
you can
again,
do without being together.
Exactly. So what is the actual, and I'd love you guys to tell me, because I remember we spoke and I asked you this question, Jazz, remember? And I was like, so what is it? So apart from that, I try to think about it. And I know our listeners are probably like, there's this benefit and this benefit. Tell us, let's talk,
Yeah.
But what is the benefit? As in a benefit that you cannot get just by being with this person or interacting with this person. Why must you turn it into a possessive ownership type situation? Why can't you just be enjoying them and like seeing them and dating them? Why do you now have to? What is the benefit of that?
Right.
Because I don't really see the benefit of it. Like I said, I don't see the benefit for women. I don't even see the benefit for men. More benefit for men. It's more beneficial for men, obviously. But why do we have to? I think that society is in. There's a lot of reasons why we're in the state that we're in right now. But one of that is our interactions, our relationships with each other are so flawed, because a lot of it just comes from a place of control and possession and trying to get somebody else to feel your happiness. And, like, what is it? We do things and we don't ask the questions why we're doing this. Why do you need to be in a relationship with somebody to experience them?
You don't. That's the reality. And it's funny because I feel like I've definitely told you this before, but my uncle is not, I think he's been married before, but he's been in this current relationship since before I was born. And I remember he mentioned to me like, why they chose not to get married. And it was more so about the fact that they just decide like, hey, we enjoy each other's company. We have a lot of similar interests. We want to spend time together. Um, and then that evolved into, hey, let's stay the night with each other every now and then, which evolved to, let's purchase property together, let's go in on
Right.
a place and continue to live together. He said, but they've never felt the need to, like, one, get the government involved in their relationship, and two, go and pay somebody to get married, and as if that proves a commitment. Because if the argument is commitment or loyalty, well, somebody's going to give you that whether you're signing a document or not.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
if you are saying that you want to be in a type of relationship where you're only seeing this one person, if you remove the ownership aspect of it, um, what else are you missing out on? And it took me a while to understand, because at that time when my uncle was telling me this, I was
Of
like,
course.
a
I remember
man
you
need
telling
to,
me that years ago.
you better give me a
Yeah. I
commitment.
was on that too. Yeah. I was like,
You
no,
better
go
give
right.
no, you better marry
Let me
me. I
try
want a
quick.
ring. But I
Yeah.
realize now, like, they, like he said, they wake up every day and they choose to be together, not because they're obligated, not because it's like this legal process they have to go through, or not because of kids. They don't actually have any kids. Not because of any of those things. It's because they decide every day, like, I want to be here with you. I'm not
Right. And I
obligated to be
value
here
your
with you.
time.
And
Value being
because
around
of
you.
that, they show each other a lot of respect.
Mm.
Because of that, they appreciate each other's time. They know the other person isn't obligated to be there, but that person is choosing to be there with you every day. So it's like you appreciate
Yeah.
them. It's like dating
Yeah.
long term. The dating phase is
Exactly.
always nice. You're dating, you're
Exactly.
meeting, you're wanting to
Yeah.
get to know each
Yeah.
other. You're like little
Yeah.
kids. It's like the dating can continue because we're not putting any pressure on anybody. Because see, what happens is the dynamics and relationships change based on people's perceptions of what that's supposed to look like. And a
Mm.
lot of that is the same. Men and women think that those are supposed to look the same, these traditional relationships, but um the reality is it's not working. That's why you see the
Right.
numbers of marriages failing and the numbers of abuse being reported by women and things like that. So it's like that form, that type of relationship isn't working. So it's like if you are looking to spend time with somebody and you sincerely enjoy that person's company, then you can still do that. But um and commit however you want to commit. But what is it that, like you said, what is it that
What
you
is the
gain?
benefit? Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah. We have to
because I don't
ask those
know anything
questions.
that you
Like,
can do. I don't know anything.
that has to be in a relationship that you can't do a lot, like without that
Mm-mm.
title of that ownership and that control and that, and like you mentioned earlier, very rightfully so, once you become in once you get into, once you put a label on it, like it's official, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we're husband and wife, right? The expectations change, and to
Yeah,
me, I don't feel like they change in a positive way. I feel like they change and become quite toxic,
yeah,
because like Fela said, there's a video I have on my Instagram with Fela. Fela. And he talks about, when he changed his mind on marriage. And he's like, I find it evil. And he said, I find it evil because it's an institution that breeds possessiveness and jealousy and control. And it
it
absolutely
does.
does.
It does.
Because straight away you're like, you belong to me. And even when we say it was cute growing up, right? That's my man, that's my girl. You belong to me, you know? Like, no,
And then
they
that way,
don't
the
belong to
first time
you.
that they step outside or the first time they experience somebody else, you're so broken because you have put this person and your feelings towards them as the center of your life.
Right.
It's like we all are lacking love in so many ways that you need
In fact, let me
that
find something.
thing that this person is fueling you. You need that love that they're giving you, because you lack it in
Exactly.
yourself. And I find it interesting because I think you can love somebody and be in a relationship, and I think it can be beautiful. But on average, the type of relationships that we're in are the type that are possessive and controlling. And we do think it's cute. We do love to say that
We love
this
the
person
possess.
is
Yes,
ours.
is my
When in
belongs to
reality
me.
is not
Yeah,
only do you not own anybody, but men don't hesitate to let you know that you don't own their
you do not own
assets.
them in
If
a bit
anything,
in
you
a
are the one
second.
that's owned. But
In fact, I'm
um,
trying to find a post on Instagram, but of course my phone would not be working now, so I could read it
yeah,
to you guys.
yeah.
And it was this guy, and I said, "You see what I'm saying? Oh, did I not save it? No, that is crazy. How could I not have done? Let me see if I can find the page. So basically, it was like, it said a girl posted she said, I'm not being funny. She said something like, sorry, but she say, let me find the post. I know there's a way you can find things that you've taken out. She said, sorry, but my partner, it's nothing personal. When I find a partner, I just want to be up and under him. Don't take it personally. And then a man responded and he said, sorry guys, I'm like slowing down because I'm trying to find the actual post so I can actually say exactly what it is he said, because it was a whole thread. And I was like, you see what I'm saying? We just be letting these guys. He basically said that women, he laughed at us basically. He said women are so funny. They will meet a man and in 3 months put him above everybody else that they've ever known. You know,
they'll never do that.
And he literally said, we never do that. We keep our friends. Like, it makes more sense to keep your friends with your relationships. But women, we're just taught that we're supposed to make them our be all and end all.
Our priority to everything.
God, I've done it. I've done it. So oh my God, I've
your
done
man
that.
Is your priority.
As soon as he becomes my boyfriend, please pedestal. You're up here. Fuck everybody else. I'm unapologetic about it too. That's my man. I'm gonna put him. No, you don't even know him.
Like,
you just
girl,
met him.
I know I was going out, but my man. God,
he said, do you know what I mean? Okay, here it is. I found the page, right? He said, this is what she said. She said, having a boyfriend just genuinely makes you distant. It's not personal or nothing. I would just rather be with my man. So this guy responded and he was like, women really just be letting us come in their lives and get priority over everyone they've ever known in 3 months. Laugh my ass off. He said, best believe that energy will not be reciprocated. Laugh my ass off, because obviously he just wants to laugh at us because you know how they are. And then he goes, all I'm saying is make time for your friends, because when you're break up and then relationships you've neglected are going to be the ones you want to rebuild so you can cry on their shoulders. Laughing again. My girlfriend still goes out and hangs with her friends on brunches and girly nights regularly. The purpose of a partner is to enhance your life for the better, not make you neglect all the relationships you have with your friends. You know, then he made a valid point. That was a valid point at the end. But it's true. We always do that as women. We just like put them on a pedestal and make them our everything. And it's like, why? Because for me personally, right, when I used to do that, or, you know, the way I say that I love, that I thought was love, is just, I guess there's a validation, because I've been told that was what made you valid, or that's what makes you a nice woman or whatever. I just would give them that, because giving them that to me was, I don't know what to, it was.
You're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a woman.
Yeah, I felt like it was filling me, but it never ever did fill me.
No, it doesn't.
I never felt filled. And
a lot of times it's because the energy isn't reciprocated.
It's not it is never.
Even if you're gonna engage in that kind of toxic possessive relationship,
exactly,
it's not ever reciprocated.
Ever. It's only just
it's not like
I'm
faithful and loyal to you and you're completely faithful and loyal to me. Like, not,
you're not
on a large scale. No, it's not happening.
Never
like
filled
that.
me up. Always made me feel like what is going on, you know? And that's because it can't fill you up. That kind of relationship honestly cannot fill you up. Like, yeah, it literally drains you. It really drains you. Whereas if you are, you know, taking people for who they are and just experiencing them, it's difficult to do. And again, it's not for everybody. You know, everybody does what they want to do. If you want to, that's what you want to do, fine. But just really think about the benefits. You know, what do you get from, apart from financial, because we say financial, but again, that can be done without being with somebody. If you're with somebody and because of finances, that already is a problem.
Right.
If that is the only reason that you are with somebody, that's already a problem. Because again, you know, I think I sent it to you on Instagram. I'm sick and tired of men, right? And this entitlement that they have. It makes me, I look at them and I'm like, I don't think you know how you sound when they say, I think you sent me the video. The guy was on a date with a girl and her friend, and it could all out with them as friends. I don't know, clearly friends, because she had a boyfriend, right? But he's her friend because they've been out, and the bill was like $200, $236 or something like that. Very specific, something like that. $236. And then he asked her, so are you going to come home with me tonight? As he's showing the bill. And she said, no, you know, I've got a boyfriend, you know. And he goes, okay, 1 second, I'm coming back. And then he leaves the restaurant and goes out and leaves her and a friend to pay the bill. And he's so proud of himself, right? And I'm just like, you are so disgusting. Like, you cannot be nice to somebody, or you just cannot be a sane human being unless you are collecting something sexually from her. Like you do that to women. That's just our realities when dealing with men anyway, whether we're in the workplace, anywhere we are, they want sexual favors in return for any kind of, but that just makes you such a disgusting human being. So if I'm with a man and he's entitled to say that, you can say, you know, I'm gonna do this for my partner, and unless you're my partner, I'm not doing it for you. That's great, but that's not the kind of man I'm really trying to be with anyway. Or that I'm even trying to hang out with at this stage in my life, because I see things so much. So
I mean, we wouldn't do that to each other either.
You wouldn't do that to your friend ever. So why would you do that to
anybody that you have any kind of respect for? You wouldn't do that.
That I'm not doing this unless you like, and if you do this for me, then I'm going to give you this. That bargain already is a red flag for me. I'm not dealing with you, because you should just deal with people because you see people as decent human beings, not because you feel like, oh, this is going to be sexually as well. It's going to be sexually beneficial. Let me exploit her or let me manipulate, because that's what it is. You know, so if you want to do business with me, let's do business because you see me and you think I'm great. Not that you want to do business with me if I'm your girlfriend or if I'm your wife, you know, that contingency. And people don't get it. They're like, yeah, but you should, because that's your partner. No, if you think I'm lit anyway, or I have the business savvy mind to do what let's do it. Irrespective. Why do I have to be your partner? Because again, the relationships between women and men are always, there has to be something. How often have you heard a man say, they say it as well with chest and social media, you know, they talk about being friend zoned a lot. Like being friend zoned is a bad thing. You're sick. There's something wrong with you. Why do you talk about friend zone?
Because you can't be a friend to a woman.
You can't be a friend to a woman. Because
a lot of them don't ever have pure intentions as friends.
The intentions are never friends. Yeah.
So, but
never pure, sorry.
But to them, it's like, no, you can't be a friend to a woman. Like,
and they say
she's friend zoning you. It's terrible. Like, no, like maybe she actually likes you as a person, thinks you're cool, thinks you're funny, thinks that you're somebody that cares about her. But of course, that's not true.
It's not true. And that's what I posted the other day.
She's being disrespectful by friend zoning you. She's playing you
by friend zoning you. Like, do you know how crazy that is? And they say so much, and with chest and with such entitlement. And then a lot of us even regurgitate it, like the friend zone. But the friend zone is not bad. Why is it when you see me, you just want to get into my panties?
Right.
You're abnormal. And if I don't want to do that, then I'm the one who's taking the piss out of you. And heaven forbid I go and eat with you.
The fact that I'm sorry. The fact that you can't be my friend, like, it just shows that you literally see me as nothing more
than vagina.
Yeah. Nothing more.
Yeah, nothing
like
at all.
It's not that I met you and I also want to sleep with you, but I think you have a dope personality and I think you're funny and I love what you're doing. You know, I love, you know, your platform. It's not any of those things. It's, I want to sleep with you. Yeah, you bad and I want to sleep with you, and that's about it.
And you better want to sleep with me too. And if you don't want to sleep with me too, then I'm not going to do anything nice for you. And don't take nice things from me.
I don't enjoy your company though.
No. And nice things are only for those who sleep with other people. If you're not going to sleep with me, you don't deserve nice things. You don't deserve to be treated nicely. You don't deserve to be given respect because you're not sleeping with me.
Right.
Duh, that's just how society, you know, you have to sleep with me, you know, and then the woman now becomes the witch and the bitch for friend zoning. Like, I just find them very, the reasoning is really problematic, you know? So even think about what's the benefit of your relationship. Okay, they make you feel loved. They make you feel secure. You can get that without being in a relationship. As in this is why I asked the question, what is the benefit of the relationship? Because you say that he makes me feel loved, he makes me feel secure, he makes me feel beautiful, does he not do that anyway? Can that not be done, or can that not be done without this label of boyfriend and girlfriend? Why do you need that label to do that? That's the problem. It messes up our interactions. We feel like certain people and certain things are only deserving of certain sides of us, which is true. I guess, like, you know, you don't necessarily want to overexert or overextend yourselves with people, but I think we should just be nice to people in general. And we should be decent to people in general without the need for like control and possession and ownership, which is how I find most relationships. I find that most relationships, the thrill of the relationship is actually the possession and the control and the owning, and oh my God, that's my man and that's my girl and they belong to me and nobody else can have them. I think that's the thrill. And you have to ask yourself,
you know what else too though? I'd love to hear the question answered from the perspective of, not from the perspective of the average person that's like, whether you've been in a long-term or short-term relationship and it's not, and you've had some bumps. And when I say bumps, I mean disrespect. I mean, like disrespect, you've dealt with things that you shouldn't have dealt with, or whatever things you chose to forgive or whatever. I mean, like a relationship where the energy is completely reciprocated. You both show each other the same amount of respect. I'm not saying that you've never like bumped heads on something, like you're human, but it's a respectful relationship and you honor whatever guidelines y'all set for yourselves.
Right.
And it's been like long term and it's been successful in that way. I'd love
Right.
to hear from that perspective what
Yeah.
the
What it
benefits are,
is.
because maybe
Yeah.
it
For
would be
them.
different if two people are coming together because they actually enjoy each other's company and they're like,
Right.
you know, I don't really like kicking it with these people. And you're like, I don't like kicking it with nobody else either. We're going to kick it
Yeah. I just
together.
want to
There's
be with
actually a
you.
friendship. It's actually a
Yeah.
really
Right.
true, intimate relationship. I've
Right.
not seen that. And I've not heard people even give that
Not
as an
bad.
example. It's
Not
always like you
bad.
said, it's financial or it's stability or protection or it's the love. Oh, I want to
Yeah.
lay
You
up and I
just
want
love.
to,
Yeah.
you
Why
just want
can't you
the
do that
love.
anyway?
You didn't
Right.
get enough of it in childhood.
Do you know, and again, like I can lay up with a guy and feel secure and feel that, quote unquote love without the label of you're my boyfriend and you're my
Yeah.
girlfriend. Why do you need that label? What is
Because
the
of
label doing for
that
you?
lack of love in childhood, you want to own it. You want it to belong to you, and
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
guarantee that you'll still have it, that it'll keep
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
So you're
Exactly.
like, I have to be with you. Because the reasons that
Exactly.
people are saying they're coming together a lot of times are very toxic. Now have your reasons or whatever, live your life, but a lot of times they're not coming from that healed place. So it's
At
like when
all.
you're saying you want this thing, you're wanting it from the place of lack, something that you're trying to fill a void that's empty.
Exactly.
So
And it's always problematic when you're trying to do that as well.
yeah.
Like you have to deal with your trauma and your issues before you even begin to want to get into a relationship with anybody else, because you're bringing those same traumatic trauma responses and just trauma thought patterns into the
Mm-hmm.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and also, like I said, obviously I said most women, this topic was that it's not beneficial for women, because I honestly find out, do you know any woman that's ever had, that's got to a certain age now, she's older and she's never had a traumatic relationship? And again, a lot of people don't even know that they're in traumatic relationships first. So they're like, it wasn't traumatic, it was just normal. But you know what I mean? Who
Yeah.
does not had some sort of trauma or has not been scarred by
Yeah.
relationships. Now, on the other side, also for men, even though relationships most of the time are a lot more beneficial for men, again, they've had horrible relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the statistics, but I'm sure same thing. If you check them too, they've probably had an experience where
Yeah.
they've had a horrible relationship that
Girl, they
didn't work
complain
out
about
for
all their
them.
relationships.
Yeah. So again, why are you as a man in a relationship? This is literally not even focused one-sidedly. It's a question for both of us, men and women.
Yeah.
Why do we feel the need to come together in this notion of a relationship? Because again, and the reason that we have such hellish experiences in relationships, I think, is because I don't think we were supposed to come together in that way. And it's funny because I can't believe we're doing an episode on it. Do you remember when I had this thought pattern or this thought process? I was like, oh God. I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to say this out loud. Mm-hmm. People are going to be like, here she goes again, you
Love
man
it.
basher.
I love it.
But yeah, like, I'm like, the relationship is really oftentimes not beneficial for men and women. Men have horrific experiences too. So why do we insist or continue to insist that this is how we were meant to relate with each other? Right. Maybe we're not meant to relate like this. Maybe if we started relating from a place that did not come from control, ownership, possession, attachment, we would be able to get on better with each other and have a lot more healthier relationships that did not traumatize us. You know what I mean? And leave us feeling terrible.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed.
Something to think about though, guys. Honestly, something to really think about.
And it is. I don't know a single relationship. I don't know a relationship, period.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I can, it's outside looking in, so you don't ever really know. But my uncle's relationship, it seems healthy. Yeah. Seems healthy. And it also isn't the typical traditional relationship either. Right. But
let me ask you a question. Your uncle and his partner, are they boyfriend and girlfriend? Because I know they're not married, but do they put the label of boyfriend and girlfriend? How do they do it? I've
never heard them refer to each other as that. I'm sure people refer to them as, as a couple, as a thing, but I've never heard them say that. Maybe they do to other people. I've never heard them say that about each other.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
not
So,
a
yeah.
traditional relationship, and I think it's cool because it's the only one that I've seen that I'm like, it seems kind of healthy. You know,
Right.
they don't have kids either, so it's a lot of time to just enjoy themselves
Be and enjoy each other.
and spend
Yeah.
time apart as well. But
Yeah.
most relationships that I know, that I've been around, that I've been in, whether that's family, friends, just I don't know a relationship that hasn't ended in some sort of toxic way, or the couple is still together and the woman hasn't experienced like a ridiculous amount of trauma throughout the relationship. I don't know one. So it's funny that when you're talking about things like this, that immediately people say that you don't like men or you don't like relationships or you're man bashing. I think it's interesting considering the fact that I don't know one. Now, obviously, I don't know everybody in the world either, but considering that, you know, women are speaking out about their trauma globally in all cultures, in all communities, I think it's safe to say that like, that's a fair question. That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know a single
Absolutely.
relationship that was like
is.
healthy
Yeah.
and it lasted long, other than this one that seems like that, but it's not traditional either.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And that's probably adds to its longevity. Although longevity is not necessarily does not necessarily mean toxic
yeah.
free, you know.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
But my mind is gone. There was something I was going to say.
Oh,
Damn it, it's gone,
let
guys.
it go.
I guess let it go.
I know I was about to sing too. I knew I wasn't gonna hit the note though. I stopped.
Yeah, so yeah, basically that's the question that we're saying, guys. You know, ask yourselves about the benefits of relationships. And again, like I said, not just for women, just in general, what is the benefit of a relationship for you? And if the benefit is kind of stemmed around toxic attachment, control, ownership, possession, then you just do some thinking, you know, ask yourself some deep questions. And because honestly, let's start to try and experience life as peacefully as we can, you know, and let other people experience life too. Like my worst nightmare, because I'm so big on my autonomy and on my freedom and how I live my life, I would hate to now meet somebody else and cause them and then box them, you know what I mean, and take away that freedom and that autonomy. Like I couldn't. It's like my worst nightmare at this stage. So yeah, let's think about it. What are truly the benefits of relationships? You know, maybe we need to start to change the way we relate with each other. I think so.
Definitely
in fact, I think we need to, because I think we have a relationship problem. I think we have a problem if 99.9% of relationships, they're saying not all relationships. Yeah.
Please.
99% of relationships are very, very toxic. So we have to ask these questions. If they are toxic, are you sure that we were supposed to actually cohabit like this? Are you sure that we were supposed to relate with one another like this? I'm not so convinced. And also back to the point that you made before we kind of round it up, you said, you know, they say you're man bashing when you speak on issues like this, right? And it's very interesting because they do. And I think to myself, when they say that, I think to myself, how is it where we're speaking about, I don't know, I think I might have made this point before, but we're speaking about toxic behavior, abuse, emotional trauma, all of these different things, physical abuse, you know, all of these kinds of problematic things, right? And you equate that to me bashing men and hating men. So you're saying essentially that those traits are traits of men. That is what it takes to be a man. Because my argument is like, that is not what it takes to be a man. So this is why I'm calling out this behavior, because I'm saying, stop it. I'm calling out toxicity, negative behavior, abuse. That's what I'm calling out.
Right.
That comes from them. But if you see me calling that out and saying you hate men, so that means that's a trait of men. That's what you want to. So you would have a man because you believe a man is supposed to abuse you. No, you believe he's supposed to abuse you. He's supposed to control you. He's supposed to be toxic towards you. You believe that is what makes a man, and he should be allowed to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I don't believe that.
It's exactly what you believe.
Yeah, to the contrary, I actually don't believe that. This is why, yes, I might say men this, men that, men this, but I'm saying it because I don't believe that that is what makes a man. I don't believe that they are meant to be like that. I don't believe all of them do that. I believe they're capable of being decent human beings.
That part right there is interesting because everybody else, when they're saying you're man bashing, they're also saying you can't group all men together. But it's like, no,
Yeah.
you're grouping them all together because what I'm saying is
Right.
these things shouldn't be tolerated. So the men that exist that don't do these things are the ones that you will meet when you learn to love yourself and you learn not to tolerate all this
Exactly.
nonsense. But
Exactly.
instead of hearing that, you hear, oh, she said men shouldn't be out here disrespecting women. She doesn't like men because obviously all of them disrespect women.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you think they're all
Yeah.
the same. I don't think that they're all the same. I think that there are some that, you know, are on their journeys as well and ascending. So when you're doing that, you know better. And you can see those that are ascending, especially when you're ascending and you're working on yourself. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, just dropping some wisdom. You know how we do.
You know, yeah. I think we're done for this week's episode. Do you think we're done? Guys, do you think we're done? Tell us. We think we're done though. Honestly, but we want to
we
hear
might
from
have to
you.
see what everybody says, what they respond
and
back.
do a
We might
part
need to do a
two.
part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we might do a part 2.
Yeah.
But seriously, guys, honestly, let us know. This is the topic that, like, I literally called Jazz one day and was just like, Jazz, I've been thinking. So
Yeah.
what are the actual benefits of a relationship? What is the point of being in that union that you can't get outside of it with the same person? You're still seeing the same person, you're still relating with them, you're still experiencing them, but not as, you know, that label as, oh, I'm in a relationship with you, you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend. So if you guys have anything else to add to the conversation or things they're like, no, ladies, obviously I get this from a relationship and I get that from a relationship, cool. Let us know. Share it with us. Yeah, we'd love to talk. Yeah. So as always, guys, follow us, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. The more you follow us on TikTok, the more you're gonna get like juicier content, right?
Agreed.
Juicier content. So follow us up, guys.
And give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
Did we say you said follow us on TikTok and Twitter at the Pow Podcast?
There we go.
Pow Podcast. Yeah, at the Pow Podcast. My bad. All right, ladies, it's been beautiful. Thank you. We will see you next week.